Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any unreadiness? All those in favor, let it be known by the usual sign of voting.
Aye.
Those who oppose, same sign. Chairs in the affirmative. Will the bailiff please open the court?
All rise. The Dallas County Commissioners Court is now in session for the December 2016 term. The Honorable John Wiley Price presiding. Please remain standing for the invocation.
The invocation today will be the guest of Commissioner Mike Cantrell.
Judge and Commissioners, or Commissioner and Commissioners. Our guest today is Pastor Chris Carroll from Firewheel Fellowship. He also has the Adult Ministries Pastor Charlie Thrive with him today, and I appreciate y'all coming down. Pastor Carroll and his family are originally from Southern California, but have lived here in Dallas for the past 12 years. He is a graduate of the Dallas Theological Seminary, where he graduated cum laude with a Master's of Theology, and is currently pursuing a doctorate of ministry from Dallas Theological Seminary. Pastor Carroll has served as lead pastor of Firewheel Baptist Fellowship in Rowlett, Texas for 8 years. He has been married to his wife, Madeline Carroll, for 14 years, and they have 5 children. And he is passionate about Jesus, family, fishing, and all things football.
That's right. That's right. Well, let us pray. Lord, we welcome you to this place of governance and decision, a place that sets the course and direction of many different aspects of this great city, and in the process impacting many lives of the citizens of the city. I thank you, Lord, for these men and women gathered here this morning who have dedicated their lives to public service. This morning we seek your infinite wisdom. It was in your infinite wisdom that you set in place the celestial realm, the heavens, and all that fill them. It was in your infinite wisdom that you put in place the terrestrial realm and all that fills this wonderful earth. And it was in your infinite wisdom that you created mankind in your likeness and image. And it is in that same infinite wisdom you have delegated to humanity great and awesome responsibilities, among which is the delegated responsibility to govern. We pray this morning for the discussions, plans, and decisions that will need to take place, and that will ultimately set the direction of many different aspects of this city. From those who are set to retire from long careers of service to the patient relations at Parkland Hospital, from discussion of budgets to low-income housing. Lord God, this morning the agenda is full. And so I pray for incredible patience, endurance, humble hearts, and a seeking of wisdom from each represented here. God, give these leaders your mind as they discuss the least of these issues all the way to the greatest and most troubling. And may they rest tonight knowing they have been greatly used by you. I also ask abundant blessings on the families represented here. I pray healing for those who need healing, restoration for relationships, and wholeness of mind, heart, and soul. We pray for this great city of Dallas. Continue to bless and set the direction. Thank you, Father, for this day and all that fills it. And into your benevolent and gracious hands, we commit this session of the Dallas Commissioners Court. In the strong name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Rich blessings.
Thank you, Pastor. Can I ask everybody just to keep standing for just a moment? A couple of things that are on our agenda. As we know, Brian Luncar was a member of our Historical Commission and was appointed, by the judge to be on that. And of course, we have a former county employee who was an HR director, who
Mr. Mario Malacara, who passed away also this weekend. I believe that, some of my colleagues served with him, and he was, a father of 3 children, a devoted father, and worked as the chart director for Dallas County for many years. He's survived by his wife, and all of you that have the opportunity to meet him and work with him know what kind of person Mario was. So our condolences to the family, and I will require a moment of silence.
And also Sonny Loper, who retired from TxDOT, and he's worked on a lot of different things, but he also passed away.
we can just take a moment of silence, please. Thank you for your indulgence in this season. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to this edition of the Commissioners Court. I'm sure the judge he's en route. We will deal with those matters that are previously on our agenda, and then we'll take up those matters that for a future court setting. That being the case, let me go to Dr. Teresa Daniels for the first resolution.
Well, good morning, and thank you very much. You know, oftentimes we deal with many serious issues at this table, but every once in a while there are many good things that also happen, and I would like to salute one of those at this time, which is the relationship of the Juvenile Department with Cafe Momentum. And if those people who are here representing Cafe Momentum would please come forward.
Yay.
Because I know that we oftentimes don't get a lot of time to watch TV, but Cafe Momentum will be highlighted on the Oprah Winfrey Network on Saturday, December the 10th. So that's a special note this morning, where we as a Commissioners Court would like to recognize that. Whereas the Dallas County Commissioners Court recognizes the dedicated employees, volunteers, and community partners of the Dallas County Juvenile Department who work together to uplift and give Dallas County's youngest residents the promise of a better tomorrow. Together, they work to create opportunities for personal growth and enrichment and instilling a sense of pride in their accomplishments. Whereas the mission of the Dallas County Juvenile Department is to assist referred youth in becoming productive, law-abiding citizens while promoting public health and victim restoration. As one of the largest juvenile departments in Texas, the Dallas County Juvenile Department is committed to putting youth first when making decisions for the youth who join the formal juvenile system each year. In 2015, 5,900 youth were referred to Dallas County's Juvenile Department. And whereas Cafe Momentum and Dallas County Juvenile Department proudly collaborate to benefit at-risk youth. Cafe Momentum's exceptional post-release program inspires Dallas County youth to tap into their creativity. Cafe Momentum is a socially innovative program, a culinary training facility that not only helps youth learn valuable skills, it also helps them address basic needs such as health care, housing, and legal support. These young adults receive life skill training, build self-confidence, learn responsibility in a supportive, safe environment that allows them to dream and to discover hidden talents. The recidivism rate for Cafe Momentum clients is 15% compared to 47% for other juveniles, saving taxpayers $172,800 per successful client. And whereas Cafe Momentum will be featured on The Hero Effect, a docu-series on the Oprah Winfrey Network, celebrating everyday heroes making an impact in their communities. Dallas County juvenile offenders have an advocate, friend, and champion in Mr. Chad Hauser, founder of Cafe Momentum. And whereas Kristen Colunga, Kawan Jolly, Jahardine Jones, Isaac Nuncio, and Dayton Swift are currently working with Cafe Momentum and are all making positive strides in the program. Kristen Colunga attends Mountain View College and hopes to be a nurse one day. Ms. Colunga is a proud mother to a baby girl and uses her past to motivate her. Kawan Jolly's goal is to obtain a culinary degree and open his own restaurant. Mr. Jolly has learned important life skills and strives to be an excellent father to his son. Jadarian Jones is a 9th grader and eventually plans to earn a business degree. In just a short time, Mr. Jones has developed amazing customer skills that routinely result in positive feedback from Cafe Momentum visitors. Isaac Nuncio will be graduating from high school in January and is applying to Brookhaven College to enroll in Ford Motor Company's Automotive Student Service Educational Training Program. The support and encouragement Mr. Nuncio receives at Cafe Momentum helped him believe in himself and see a future for himself. Dayton Swift is taking advantage of every opportunity while working at Cafe Momentum. Mr. Swift's dream is to become a professional chef. He uses his past experiences as the reason for his success. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby celebrate the young men and women who choose to overcome difficult circumstances with resilience and courage. We wish you every success. When the sky is the limit, there are no limits. The Dallas County Commissioners Court thanks the Dallas County Juvenile Department, staff and volunteers for their service to our most precious commodity, Dallas County youth and future leaders. Sincerest gratitude to Cafe Momentum for believing in second chances and looking beyond the stigma. And I so move on this resolution.
And I will second. Is there any unreadiness? All those in favor, let it be known by the usual sound of voting.
Aye.
Those who oppose, same sign. Chair, Ms. Irvin, and of course, Dr. Smith, for the record, introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Terry Smith. I have the honor of being the Executive Director of the Dallas County Juvenile Department. Commissioner Daniel, thank you for the resolution. I would be remiss, though, just a little sidebar, that we also lost an employee who'd been with us for 26 years, Mr. Richard Hampton, so if we can keep him and his family in your prayers also. Gosh, all you have to do is look at these incredible young faces, and when we brought this program to our juvenile board, Commissioner Price and Judge Shannon were probably the first two that gave an enthusiastic yes, and we get vetted with all sorts of programs, and sometimes we just have to say yes and hope it turns out well. Well, this was a yes that turned out extremely well, and I do have to give a lot of credit to Chad Hauser with his leadership and what he's brought to the team and these incredible young kids. And I invite Commissioners Court again to come down to Cafe Momentum anytime you like to see these wonderful young people in action and see what they do and how they do it. It's just remarkable. I always say they're breaking dishes, but they're also breaking stereotypes too. So we just love supporting them, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Hauser.
For the first time in my life, I think I'm speechless, so thank you.
No compliment.
You know me well. A ginormous thank you to Dr. Smith. It takes a true visionary and a true leader to be able to say that taking kids out of detention and teaching them to play with knives and fire could be a really productive way to work with them. So thank you to Dr. Smith for your belief in us. Thank you, Commissioner Price, for your belief in allowing us to carry through, and thank you, Commissioner Daniel, for acknowledging not just what we do, but the success that comes. These kids work very hard to definitely break through stereotypes, definitely overcome a lot of issues that have plagued them unfairly in life, and they're exemplary examples of how giving someone just a little bit of hope and opportunity can turn into wonderful chances. So thank you.
Chad, let me just say, and both the court and the juvenile board knows I'm just not a real embracer of a lot of these programs. We've been down that take them to the Marine. I won't remind everybody how much money we spent on the Marine program, but just did not work for them. And so I was somewhat suspect when this program began. But I think it's because of I know the Bible talks about obedience is better than sacrifice, but I saw what you did. I saw you left a career, you left a thriving career to dedicate to this mission. And I really appreciate, all of your energy and commitment. When I saw those young people beginning to do what I call horticultural work, and that's where it began. I mean, not the fact that they could go buy a can of beans or you say grow it and move it. And they began to deal with it there. Now, while Dr. Smith wants to invite everybody, you're lucky to be able to get in, because when you say Cafe Momentum, I mean, you guys sell out, and that it speaks volumes. That same book also says that when you fall, you get up, and get up 7 times. You guys haven't needed 7 times. You got a few more in the queue. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you. These old folks ain't gonna know what I'm talking about, but thank y'all for representing. You represent us well.
Well.
You make us look good.
And cook fantastically, yeah.
And with the Christine, I assume that you're Christine, is that true? You want to, and then Kawan, is that correct, Kawan? Jadarian, are you here? Hey. And Isaac, pleased to meet you, and Dayton. Yeah, you guys are fantastic. You know, I go out in the community a lot and hear lots of kudos of people. First of all, they go and they enjoy going to the restaurant, and it's very, very well done. And then they start talking about some of the other
And I want to give kudos to the rest of our staff, and I think because while this program has really kind of become the crown and kind of out front, I mean, we've got, and I talked about this at Juvenile Board, a number of other programs where our staff takes young people who are in our custody, and they take them to jobs. They give them the basic etiquette. And so I want to say to those who are streaming, you know, to LETOC, to Youth Village, to Medlock, these are young people who are being detained. Some of them being detained sometimes as much as 6 months. But at the same time, that staff is going beyond just basic curriculum, teaching them, go back and forth, teaching them how to do accounts and have accounts and doing so many things. So while you guys are the titular head and out front, I do want to thank the rest of the staff who go over and beyond. But again, thank you for your personal sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Come on all the way over here. We're all in there. He will guide us.
You're going to have to bunch up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can squeeze it. Yeah, come on, you come on.
Judge General gives us a seat.
Let's make,
Come on, who wants to see?
let's make 2 rows, please.
Where are you?
Can we make 2 rows, please? You guys kind of close in. Judge, you can have, okay? All right. Young lady in the back, if you just step on the steps to you, just going up, yeah. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Young man, right behind the judge, if you'll go on the steps, please. Let's go to the steps. Dr. Smith, if you stay where you are, please. Young man next to her. Okay. Make sure you're not looking behind someone's head. Everybody's ready? Let's do 3. All right. 1, 2, and 3. Judge, if you hide your water bottle, please.
Now you go and get your picture. I also want to say, you finish with Wallace? Got one more? Come on, one more. Thank you. As a ranking member of the Juvenile Board, we
I said he means old.
Yeah, right, okay. We have the most diversionary programs. All of the studies say that the longer young people are in custody, the worse it gets. And we have a number of programs that are diversionary and have come under the leadership of Dr. Smith. So I just want you to understand, while I said the second largest, it's like, unfortunately, like our other custody, we are. Texas still, unfortunately, has the largest prison system in the free world. But we are doing everything to divert and to manage. And I just want to thank this group for what they do. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
That's right.
We forget to say that.
Yeah, I did forget that. She
So,
reminded me.
go ahead and say it,
We
Councilor.
have the lowest
Recidivism
recidivism
In the
rate
juvenile department.
in the state, according to the Texas Juvenile Commission.
There we go.
Okay?
Sorry, Dr. Smith, we missed that big important
Yeah,
part.
a big piece. Okay. Judge, we can go back to the,
All right. And I have two resolutions this morning. And apparently I may have more than that, but I have the next two anyway. Will the following employees please come forward? If they're here, Laura Edmonds, Maricela Escamilla, Dr. Christopher Perkins, Spencer Lockwood, Rudolph Phillips, Blanca Nieto, Lula Cooper, Quinn Shirley Fu, Nancy Toledo, and Diana Flowers. And this is for our employees of the month. And thank you all so much for your great service. Whereas Dallas County employees are hardworking, dedicated, and play a vital role in achieving the goals and objectives set forth each year by the Commissioners Court. Most employees perform above expectations and ensure that Dallas County continues to be a regional leader and a destination of choice for residents and businesses. And whereas Dallas County Commissioners Court authorized the creation of the Employee Recognition Program in 2012 to encourage recognition of dedicated employees who represent the best and the brightest of our workforce. And whereas the Dallas County Employee Recognition Program is consistent with the county's approved administrative plan under which the county seeks to operationally be a model governmental entity. These employees represent the exemplar employees Dallas County hopes to recruit and retain. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby salute the following employees for being selected as Employee of the Month in November and December 2016 for their respective department, and offers best wishes for continued success at Dallas County, and I so move.
get your Kwanzaa present. I'll second. I usually don't second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Congratulations, thank you.
And we couldn't do it
Thank you so
without you.
I will now present the next resolution. Will those from AIDS Arm please come forward?
We're doing God's will.
All right. And so the resolution reads as follows. Whereas 30 years ago, a small group of volunteers supported by the Community Council of Greater Dallas created the AIDS Arms Network with the fundamental goal of developing human care alternatives for those dying of AIDS. And whereas AIDS Arms received one of the 11 highly competitive AIDS Health Services Program awards from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation in 1986, resulting in over $1.5 million in vital AIDS assistance funding arriving to Dallas. Establishing a coordinated and compassionate and confidential means to manage the needs of people living with AIDS. And whereas within a month of opening, 72 clients were receiving services, growing today to over 2,500 clients in care coordination and case management. And whereas in 1990, AIDS Arms was one of the first recipients of federal Ryan White grant funding in North Texas, acting as the grant's administrative agent, continuing to effectively utilize these important grant funds to present day. And whereas AIDS Arms evolved into a premier HIV primary health care provider and medical home, today operating the only freestanding HIV primary care clinics in southern Dallas and Oak Cliff, providing health care for over 2,000 patients, representing more than 10% of individuals living with HIV and AIDS in North Texas. And whereas for 10 years, it's been a major enrollment site for the National Institute of Health AIDS clinical trial groups, one of only a few non-academic centers in the country receiving one of these prestigious awards. And whereas since 2001, AIDS Arm has supported over a dozen prevention grant projects and programs, many of which have received national recognition for providing evidence-based prevention service to thousands of North Texans each year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby commend and congratulate the leadership, staff, volunteers, and clients of AIDS Arm, Inc. for 30 years of dedicated service, supporting Dallas County through effective, compassionate, and outstanding care for individuals living with HIV and AIDS, and I so move. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Doctor?
Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners. My name is John Carlo. I'm the CEO of AIDS Arms. We are absolutely delighted to be here today. I want to recognize first all of your personal individual support to this organization and this cause, as well as your committed effort in your role in government to make sure we're doing what we can against this crisis. 30 years is a long time. It's been a very, very long time if you consider all of the challenges that this community and the communities around the world have gone through because of HIV and AIDS. We started with 5 individuals who were committed to make a difference in this community. 5 individuals that wrote the Robert Wood Johnson grant, but also, more importantly, they started on the ground working, and we were delighted to actually have them back here with us this weekend to celebrate the 30th anniversary. And what they told us was that we were actually the first organization in the country to receive the award and the first one to get up and running because we recognized that it was such a crisis here in Dallas. Unfortunately, very few of the clients that were served at that time are still with us. In fact, they gave some really tragic stories about how we couldn't even get people in fast enough to complete the eligibility paperwork before people were dying. We've come a long way. This organization has also come a long way in this effort. We started medical care. We undertook the responsibility of the Peabody Clinic in 2003. We have since moved forward with a second clinic in Oak Cliff beginning in 2011. Your organization is one of the few organizations, as mentioned, that's operating freestanding clinics south of I-30. Your organization is one of the few organizations that has 4 infectious disease trained, fellowship trained infectious disease providers in this community that are seeing patients every day. And this is one of the few organizations in the country that maintains National Institutes of Health recognition in clinical trial research. Finally, the prevention and the efforts that go on every day with this group is absolutely remarkable. This organization continues to bring down whatever funds we can from the federal government so that we can utilize those and mobilize the resources here effectively in this community. Again, we are so honored to be celebrating 30. We're looking forward to the future, and we're going to continue doing what we do, and we're just honored that you all are here today supporting us and as part of this effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Carlos, thank you, and thank you for your leadership. We like to say that a number of the titular heads over at AIDS Arms trained in Dallas County, and then we kind of moved you over. And so we're glad that you're at the helm, and also at the helm of our medical society. I think what people do in hindsight is that they easily let it just roll off their tongue that, we're now in the thick of servicing what we probably should have been doing all along. And so I really want to applaud you for the political hurdles, because I remember Peabody Clinic, still Peabody Clinic, but when we placed it in South Dallas on Peabody. It was not received with open arms. And in fact, there were some people in the constituency that said it needed to be further north. Why are we putting it in South Dallas? And I just really appreciate being able, that you were able to wave and banter that storm. And so, thank you, thanks to all of you, because you continue, and you continue to make us a proud community in terms of servicing our constituents.
And 30 years, it's easily said, but it has grown so much. And the work that you've done, not only in the community and awareness, education, and more importantly, continue the research. Because I want to believe that I'll still be alive when the time comes that the cure for AIDS, will be in our communities. And, just that thought, makes me, believe that the work that you all continue to do, it's a very important job. So thank you, and of course, we will continue to support Eight Arms, not only through the Commissioner's Court, but personally as well. So thank you.
We're not done yet, but it sure is good to see what's been accomplished so far. So thank you very much to all of you for what you've done and what we're going to do.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cantrell has our next resolution.
Judge, Commissioners, if Miss Janice Rowe will come forward, and her brother Bud Bean, and whoever else she has with her, I think Dale Lilly. Yeah. And I'll read the resolution and move its adoption. Whereas the Dallas County Commissioners Court recognizes and extends sincere appreciation to individuals who have given a long career of faithful service to Dallas County, and whereas Janice E. Rowe was born on November 14th in Amarillo, Texas, she attended school in Amarillo and later went on to graduate from Amarillo College. And whereas Janice came into the workforce of Dallas County in 1986 and has excelled in several positions, including contract administrator in engineering and project management, 1986 to 1993, senior secretary in the purchasing department, 1993 to 1999, contracts coordinator in engineering and project management, 1999 to 2014, and fiscal services manager in facilities management, 2014 to 2016. And whereas Janice has many accomplishments, but foremost among them are her work as a contract administrator on the 1985 bond fund projects, administrative building restoration, and East Dallas Government Center, and on the Decker and sixth floor museum projects. She was the contracts coordinator for a number of major capital improvement projects, including the George Allen Senior Civil Courts Building addition and renovation, Henry Wade addition, Kay's Tower, and the new Southwest Institute of Forensic Sciences, Old Red restoration, and Founders Parking Garage. Recently, Janice has focused on the elevator-escalator modernization initiative, energy performance projects, and preparations for the Records Building Complex renovation. As a fiscal services manager, she utilized her experience to streamline and improve department procurement and financial processes. And whereas on June 2016, Janice celebrated 30 years of service with Dallas County, and subsequently she has announced her retirement effective on December 9, 2016. And whereas Janice resides in Carrollton with her husband Scott, and they have been married for 41 years, they are the proud parents of Joshua Rowe and his wife Jessica, and two grandchildren, Harrison and Mayberg. And whereas Janice enjoys reading, traveling, cooking, and spending time with her grandchildren, she is looking forward to new adventures, new activities, and good times with her family. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court hereby and with great sense of pride and sincere appreciation recognizes the 3 decades of contributions by Janice E. Rowe to our facilities and construction processes. Be it further resolved that her years of service has resulted in a legacy of sound fiscal stewardship and many successful projects for the benefit of the citizens of Dallas County, and we wish her a blessed retirement and hope for many more special memories and experiences for the Rowe family. And I so move.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And my second had a caveat. Can we get Dr. Shelton over here to take some of Janice's blood to make sure she is related to Bud Dean?
Well, Commissioner, I was here first.
And last. So,
That is my little brother.
yeah, okay.
Not by much, but my little brother.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You can pull that microphone down if you want.
Thanks. Thank you very much. It's nice to be recognized. It's been fun. My husband said, honey, just stay 6 months, and here we are.
There you go.
So, and my brother said, I know about a job for you. And here I am. So,
That's great. Well, thank you. And Dale, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah. He's leaving us too.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for recognizing this wonderful asset to facilities management, engineering project management. She's worked on so many big projects and been a part of so many departments. She's worked with budget, audit, the treasurer's office, purchasing, and on big projects even with the Commissioner's Court administration. She's been a valuable member of the facilities team for a long time. We love her, and it's unfortunate that her kids and her kid and grandkids couldn't be here, but you can see she's got a pretty remarkable family here as well. And that's what a long term of doing a good job and being faithful to that job and faithful to people you work with does for you. And I'm going to miss her truly, and so are a lot of other people in Dallas County. Thank you.
I just want to say that it's been a pleasure working with you and Mr. Lilly as the liaison of the Commissioner's Court to the Facilities Department for the last year. You know, guys, you are a great team, and you are going to levels that we never thought, we will go. So you will be missed, Ms. Janice. Enjoy it, but keep in touch with us.
I will.
We
And I
might
just
call
wanna-
you to sound something off, for your advice. So thank you, and enjoy.
And I really want to thank my work family, because they really, after 30 years, they really are your family. So,
Well, I want to thank you to you helped get the organization. This facilities department, and we had our monthly meeting the other day, is a different facilities department.
Yes.
It's a much different facilities department. And I want to thank both, Dr. Garcia and, of course, Dr. Daniels and Mr. Bassan and all, in terms of how we work. But you guys are right up there with our, I think you're the third largest department behind the sheriff and the juvenile. But the issues were right up there with almost number one. And within just a few years, I think there was a consultant the other day that said they never thought you guys would bring it into focus in the time that you have. And it's really, and as we meet with you, the kind of things you're doing and the kind of thinking outside the box, I really appreciate it, because you've given us ideas to deal with the rest of our workforce, the kind of just personal touch things that y'all have done. So
Thank you.
just thank you.
I know they all thank you, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It ain't that cold.
Hey, it's cold. I don't play with the cold weather.
She's that stylish, though, so don't worry about it.
It is cold out.
Yeah, okay. I'd be that cold Thursday.
Growing that code, all these. Remember the story of the first when Trump gets sworn in, I said that's been second, but now he would take this one the second time. Yeah, then you look like
Well, I got them coats. When you cold over facilities.
Let's let it go for 4 years. That's right. There you go. Never makes it to 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lilly. Good to see you.
One more.
And while they're leaving, Josh, can I have a moment of privilege? You know, as a commissioner, we get to see a lot of our staff and directors for being recognized for many different things. But I have to say that when I saw this informative magazine for this, month, I saw someone with a beautiful award right here that works really hard for Dallas County. And every time that our constituents need help, every time our county, has any health issue, who is there? Mr. Zachary Thompson. So it's an article about the, excellent alumni of El Centro College. So who else to represent us but Mr. Zachary Thompson? Congratulations, Mr. Thompson. I really don't know how you do it. You have the job that I will never be able to do. So, muchísimas gracias, enhorabuena. Thank you.
And speaking of that, both he and Diane Rucker and that delegation come forward. And what Dr. Garcia did not mention was, as chairman of public health, Dallas County has now reached a milestone achievement. Out of over 3,100 counties in the United States, only about 200 are accredited with this certification. We've been working on this for several years. And so I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Dallas County Health and Human Services Department for being accredited and one of the 200 of the 3,100 in the country to do that. So congratulations.
And I didn't say it because I wanted you to say.
Thank you, Dr.
Chair.
Garcia. Okay. Well, today, someone who has been a part of this family for some time is going to retire. And it says, whereas Diane Rucker earned her BBA in business from the University of North Texas in Denton. And whereas Diane Rucker has been a valued employee of the Dallas County for 36 years, and she began as a counselor at Dallas County Human Services Department. And whereas Diane Rucker, her tenure with Health and Human Services began as a contracts manager in the Human Services Nutrition Program, and it would include in the capacities of program manager of the nutrition program and assistant director of the Older Adult Services Division. And whereas Diane Rucker currently serves as the assistant director of the Dallas County Health and Human Services, where she assists the Director of Health and Human Services by directing the daily operations of the Older Adult Services and Human Resources Division. She assists in the development, implementation, and the evaluation of quality improvement protocols for all programs, monitors the maintenance of records, billing options, and contracts to ensure compliance with applicable state and federal rules and regulations, and serves as the acting director. And whereas for 36 years, Diane Rucker has been a dedicated, loyal, and committed employee, as well as an intricate part of Dallas County Health and Human Services. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby commend Diane Rucker for exemplary service to the residents of Dallas County through the Dallas County Health and Human Services Department, and offers well wishes on her retirement from Dallas County, and I so move.
And I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Dr. Thompson and then Ms. Rucker.
Well, I just wanted to say that Diane Rucker, and this is a great American family right here, what stands with her. Her dad, Mr. Short, And when you look at Frankie, Barbara, and the man who is behind us, Andrea, Ashley, who is not here, this has been a great teamwork. We can't say enough about Diane Rucker. Our accreditation, when we started that accreditation, I'll start there first, she led the way in terms of the accreditation process. And so I wanted to commend her for that. But not only that, HR, her dialogue with when Dr. Taylor was here and now with was here with Ermit, and just the on-the-ground response in terms of the day-to-day operation. We appreciated everything that she has done for the department, the older adult services program. Our senior citizens would not have grown without Diane Rucker. She worked with, as everybody may be familiar with, is Norman Moorhead, and that goes way back. And so when you look at the activities of growing to the number of centers that we have today, we owe that to Diane Rucker. But just on employer relations, when you look at HR, and those who serve on civil service will know what you're up against, is that when you deal with the day-to-day operation, you always have great employees, and then you have those employees that have to have corrective action. She dealt with that, and we appreciate it. We navigated in terms of assuring that workers' comp, any type of FMLA issues, they were worked with Dallas County HR. So I want to commend her for the job well done. At a point, you have to retire. You've done enough, and so we want to commend her. A lot of people get noticed for just being here. Some people just come up every month, but at the end of the day, this is 30-plus years of continuous taking work home, dialoguing with state and federal partners, and working with Dallas County employees. So to that, I say to Diane, thank you for being a great individual, a great employee, and thank you for your dedication to Dallas County Health and Human Services.
Diane?
I'd like to thank the court for this acknowledgement. Thank you, Commissioner Price, for the resolution. I want to also thank Mr. Thompson for selecting me as his assistant director. He has been a great leader and mentor. And I also just want to say thank you to my family as he's introduced. Thank you for taking care of that for me. And I just want to acknowledge also my dad, Mr. Harold Short, the most influential mentor in my life, just through his guidance and teaching through my entire life. So he taught us all how to work early in life, and I'm now about to enjoy the success of my retirement. So again, thank you, Court, for this acknowledgement.
And I'm just glad to see some of my other constituents, the Washington family. I was telling Mr. Frankie Washington and his wife and the heir apparent that it's just good to see them. My staff said the other day, for the last 12 years, I do about an average of about 3 funerals a week, almost every week. And Mr. Washington and his wife, they're in the mortuary business. And we see each other quite frequently. And I told him it's just great to see him when I don't see him in that particular setting. But he is considered to be one of the premier. In fact, the president of the National Mortuary Association, that's how esteemed he is considered in the business. And so I just thank them for the kind of services they provide to this community. And like I said, they're all constituents and voters of District 3. So I'm just glad to see you. Mr. Short, we waited until you retired before we did something with that records building. Mr. Short was over there for how many years?
56.
56.
Oh, gosh, bless your heart.
He was over there when I came down. He was over there when Mr. Bowie was operating the elevator with that.
Right.
Yeah, with that handle. And so someone's been around for a while. But like I said, he knew where everything that was happening in the records building, and so we just thank you and thank this family. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you for all your service.
Thank you.
I would like to take just a moment, if I
Certainly.
could, that we've been talking about staff and how staff interacts with the community. Would like to recognize, and if those who did go to the North Texas Food Bank, if you just stand for a moment and say, yes, we can get out there and offer back. Would like to know, you volunteered at the North Texas Food Bank, and that this year would like to announce too that we passed last year's collection of pounds of food. Our staff altogether collected 3,377 pounds of food to give to the North Texas Food Bank, which bypassed last year's of just almost 3,000 pounds, and collected some additional funds for them to buy other commodities. So thank you very much, and it's Dallas County staff hanging there together and making Dallas County a better place.
The Dr. Kennedy was with us also. Yeah.
Always having fun. Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think, under Health and Human Services, we don't, bless you.
Yeah, and we have some presentations on the agenda, but I understand that they
Yeah,
are...
and under judicial management, you got a publication that the judge has already said. That piece was, I was going to deal with the whole issue of that truancy thing, but he published a piece. I'll take his publication as opposed to the committee's publication, but we've got to...
They're consistent. It's a little bit confusing when it talks about unifying them all under one place, but because of the great shrinkage that we're going to see, they can both be unified and shrunk.
Yeah, but but when I read that report, it didn't sound like a whole lot of shrinking was going on. Yeah, but
Like an additional person here and an additional person.
right, exactly.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was where I was coming from under judicial management.
It's a group report. Everybody gets their say on that.
Yeah, right. It's called job security. But now the legislation has changed, and of course, hopefully we're going to see some real compression in that program because it's not the program it was, and we're still basically, except for one position or so, funding at the same level. So that's the reason I had it on there.
Let me say something about that since we're on it. I want to recognize several people who worked so hard on that. Shay Cathy in my office really led on that effort. Talked to our federal partners, our state partners, led our interns from the law school in looking at what all 50 states do. Worked hours and hours with me, worked on it at home, and was just phenomenal on this. John Sheldon was the JP appointed to the committee when he served as a JP, did tremendous work, and there were 6 charges to the committee, and John led 3 of them, chaired 3 of them, and although everyone on the committee worked very hard, clearly Judge Sheldon was the impetus behind that. Judge Roden, our civil section DA, Ms. Kraft in the DA's office, and also Regina Chavez put in hours and hours of work on this. By the way, Judge Sheldon is now with Judge Roden's staff and is working on this still. And there are many people to thank, and it's always dangerous to thank people because then you forget to thank someone, but also Judge Chavez and Superintendent Hinojosa took point on a lot of issues with us as well. On all the committees that I chaired, which were changing the law and changing the way schools deal with truancy, the co-chair and thought leader on those committees was Michael Hinojosa, so I want to give him praise as well.
And I can appreciate all that, Judge, but what's the budget right now with regards to truancy?
Once you add in all the different components, it's going to be right about $1.8 million.
1.8. At the end of the day, given, we've all read the Appleseed Project, we all understand, where we are. At the end of the day, we just need to talk about how do we, retro this thing in such a way that, we get a district attorney, because the same thing, and I think, is Ms. Richardson here? Same thing that I've complained about, this that's getting ready. I think I sent an email out this morning talking about the tsunami, and it's getting ready to hit. That's what hit us here. And for us to continue to kind of, pedal and act like it's going to be okay, we really need to do some real drastic, something totally different in terms of operationally in this area, because the cases aren't coming. The cases are not coming. I mean, there's no way, given the law and where we're trying to backpedal out of, the cases aren't coming. So I appreciate all the work they did, but, at the end of the day, that's the only reason I put it on here, because I'd said something about it, and we just need to go ahead on and
Compress it.
move in that, basically in that direction.
The judge's office is going to put the report on for the December 20th agenda, so I expect that at that point we'll have some additional.
December 20th?
Yeah, we may be a little bit far afield at this point, but the whole report will be on December 20th. We can have a robust discussion if.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. I found that pretty, okay.
The 1.8 million, is that what kind of a change is that from last year?
It's roughly the same because there was no real adjustment in the salary, or in the program between last year and this year.
Okay.
Even though Judge Sheldon is no longer functioning as the sitting judge and on the fifth truancy court, it's minor. And since Commissioner Price, you did bring it up, the Budget Office is working on a draft of, and will ultimately need to get involved with lots of other departments on creating a different way of doing the bonding, the indigent screening, the release of inmates, and the mental health screening that will need to be done as a result of the changes that are occurring and need to be dealt with. And so that will be a fundamental change, including a indigent screening, risk assessment, mental health screening done at Bookend. So it'll be done before the medication process.
Well, let's just talk about it. We're going back to where we were several years ago, and again, I think I brought that up the last time the district attorney's office came over here with regards to that, that 24-hour booking. I mean, that's basically, and again, do I see Ms. Richardson? I can't see.
Once you get to that point of setting that bond based on those risk assessments and those indigent screening assessments, you will have a contested bond hearing, so you will need to have a public defender in there 24/7.
I got it.
Will also be part of the change.
All I'm saying is, we see all of this, we see it coming, and then I look up and I get emails and he says, "Oh, well, I've been told to wait." Wait for what? What are we waiting for? We know what's coming down the pipe.
But to get it in place is going to be complicated. And additionally, even how the physical constraints of the location that'll have to occur in. So, yes, we're working on it.
Commissioner, we're meeting with the magistrates, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Martin asked me to put together a group of people. And the magistrates, the judges involved, the DA's office, the PDs, and we understand this is a gathering storm. And so we're diligently trying to find a solution to this thorny problem before the storm comes here. But we recognize the storm.
Okay, thank you. And on the park and patient relation, put it back on there. This court has not seen a report. Now, I've been working with Judge Roden and asking for some other information, and I've signed off on trying to gather that information. But on this whole thing of patient relations, I think this court deserves a report. So at least I'm asking, not only for me, but for the court I want them to generate to us where they are with regards to the CMS thing. I know CIA and everybody's still in there, but I'm telling you, there are some things that are looming that gives me some real pause. And I think this court, we need to have a sign-off from them as to where they are with regards to CMS. We keep saying, it's a bygone thing, the last, and the CIA. I want their signature on a report. Okay?
I'll send it out to them.
Okay.
All right.
I'll put it back on also for the 20th.
Yes, please. Okay. We can go to the consent agenda.
All right, and let's go to our consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we'll consider the bids. Is there a motion on the bids?
Move the approval of the bid as three.
Second. The motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, we'll consider court orders L1 through 34, pulling items 4 and 11 for a separate vote.
And 13.
Oh, and 13, I beg your pardon.
President, you also need to pull 25.
25, yeah.
Okay, none of it's on the screen.
That's staff pulling 25.
Okay, 25 is for a later date, and 13 is for a separate vote, or is it for a
Separate vote.
separate vote? What is 13?
Bilingual.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
All right, and,
13?
13 separate.
all right.
So it's 4, 13,
But-
25?
Yeah,
4,
25 is
11, 13 are pulled for a separate vote. 25 is pulled for a later date, and the motion would be on L1 through 34. Anybody want to make that
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
There's a motion from Commissioner Cantrell, a second from Commissioner Garcia.
Daniels.
Done.
I'm sorry, Commissioner
And I
Daniels.
apologize, colleagues, my screen is not working. So,
Mine either.
okay.
And the timer's not going to work today, too, so we're going to have, kind of fun times. But anyway, is there any comments on the court orders L1 through 34, excluding 11, 13, and 20? 4, 11, 13, and 25. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. First quarter up would be,
I want to move court order L4.
Second.
right. And there's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I abstain.
And again, I want to commend purchasing. We talked about it in the facilities meeting the other day, and all that purchasing has done regards to bring those contracts up within the same budgets and allow benefits to the workforce that they had not previously been privy to.
Not this company, but the companies we have now, but not this company.
This company did.
No, not this company.
Which agenda item are you referring to?
This company, well, I'll shame them in public, but this company pays their people $7.25 an hour. They're our prior contractor and had no benefits whatsoever.
But they did give some.
This was the previous company,
Yeah.
but the new companies do have that benefits.
I move
Go ahead, sir.
okay, court order 11 is before us.
Fours. Did we vote on four?
We did,
Okay.
and it
Yeah.
passed.
All right.
We were about with abstaining, yes.
And while we're on, before we leave that, Dan, I want to commend you for being so responsive on purchasing questions and, being so informed of what's going on over there.
Thank you, Judge.
Go ahead.
Court order 11 is before
I'll
us.
second it.
Court order 11's been motioned by Commissioner Price, seconded by Commissioner Cantrell, beg your pardon. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Court order 13.
Court order 13, I would like to move it. Move approval.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on court order 13?
Well, with regards to that, when this was passed by the court, Mr. Graham.
Well, it wasn't passed now. We passed it today.
Well, it was passed to proceed on and kind of built the framework on it. And you sent it out for a 30-day response, and it came back looking a whole lot different. In other words, employees hired based on bilingual preferred. I asked about that at the time, and you said, no, they're not considered, because if you hire them based on being able to speak a language, then that's a preference over everyone else, and now you're going to double up and pay them an incentive on that.
Yes, and I talked to legal about that. When you hire someone with bilingual preferred, giving preference to their hiring, but we did not calculate we did not calculate their ability to speak a second language as part of their salary. Since it's not considered part of their salary, it was only given a preference, then it can't be considered because we did not calculate, we don't use bilingual as an additional salary in calculating their salary.
And also, you made a real clear point. They're going to be tested on reading, writing, and speaking.
Right.
Now, you backed off of that already, and now you're going to do it on just speaking, and then a certain amount, and then if they do the other three, then it's a certain
And
amount.
based on the number of comments, we did a actual training session on this. We had 40-plus supervisors and managers that attended, and a lot of the managers indicated they only wanted to do speaking rather than all three and stuff. And so I separated speaking and reading and writing with a reduced rate.
I understand. But that's exactly what I said was going to happen, Armand, with regards to, and you already backed off on a whole lot of other things too, and I'm not going to get into them, but I am going to vote against it today because I knew that was where it was going to go. It just got there a lot quicker than I thought it would get there. So,
Well, and I just want to say, this is a pilot, let's not forget that. And we sent it for comments precisely because of that, Commissioner, and you were right. You did mention that last time. And hey, some people can speak a language and have a lot of problems, writing it or reading it. And a lot of people, especially in departments in Dallas County, speak it more than reading or writing it. And so I think that's actually came out to be an excellent recommendation, and we'll see how it works. All of these recommendations will have to be authorized by a department head and are based on the amount of time that they spend with the public. So for me, it's just another tool in the toolbox for departments to have alternatives. I know that my office, and I'm sure some of you know about this, are always trying to help, with some of this language, especially when it's in Spanish, with the reading and the writing, and I'm, more than happy to do it. I will not be included in this, obviously, but it's another commodity for Dallas County to have when we serve the public. It's not for every department, as we have seen in all the different comments as well. So I just want to thank all of you that showed up and give your input, and of course, Mr. Graham. I think that in the time that you have been an interim, you have passed more and done more than, and all the time that I've been here. So I want to thank you and your staff, and obviously Mr. Martin and administration and everybody that has worked hard, and my colleagues, of course, all of you, for bringing something new, to and options to our departments in Dallas County, and of course that will benefit, a lot of our constituency. Thank you.
I'll be supporting this also because looking at the kind of work that Dallas County does in so many different ways, the importance of being able to communicate in the language of our residents, our constituents, is critical to them being able to arrive at the goals that they want to in their working with Dallas County. And putting the parameters on this particular pilot program, I think will allow it then to adjust to what is absolutely needed for us to be able to do that. But just the underlying foundation of why do we do these things, I think the language ability is a critical piece. And so I'm very, very proud to know that we're moving forward, but in a very thoughtful way of looking at it and making it the best that it can be and to meet our immediate needs.
Thank you.
Another person.
I want to commend Dr. Garcia and Mr. Graham on this. I'll be voting for it, and the primary reason that I think this is a warranted program is the way that it is structured, in that the person who is receiving the compensation must spend on average 8 hours, or whatever that is, 20% of their work week, communicating with others in Spanish. So this isn't a situation where, and I know there are some employees that are concerned about this, it's not a situation where we're picking some, winners and losers within our workforce for a friendship bonus. It's a situation where you might have 24 people who are fluent Spanish speakers, but in their job, they're not called on to speak Spanish for 20% of their work week. So this is primarily going to be people who are dealing with the public, clerk-level type people who are dealing with the public and are getting a lot of calls in Spanish. And we do have it's certainly not the majority, because many of our 43%, the vast majority of our 43% Hispanic population speaks English, but there's a substantial minority who do not. Did I get that right, Ermit?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. The question's been called. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey.
Right.
Motion
All right, we have
passes
one.
with Commissioner
We have
Cantwell voting against.
four and one against, showing Commissioner Cantrell against. And then that takes, 25 has been pulled for a later time. We have several registered speakers. Will the bailiff please read the rules of decorum for our public speakers?
All Commissioner Court attendees are hereby advised that this meeting is conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Dallas County Code, Section 74-701. Visitors and registered speakers are to preserve order and decorum at all times. Personal, profane, or slanderous remarks are not appropriate and will not be allowed at any time during this public meeting. Any and all applause will be kept in observance of time constraints. Disrupted visitors and/or registered speakers may be removed and are subject to the penalties provided in the State of Texas Penal Code Section 3813, 4201, and 4205. Registered individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. The maximum discussion on any one topic is limited to 30 minutes.
Right. And our first public speaker today is Mr. Loris Phillips. All right, Mr. Loris Phillips. And our second public speaker is Mr. Richard Sheridan.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Richard Sheridan, 3817 Bennett Lane, Dallas, Texas. Appreciate being here, and happy Merry Christmas to everyone. Great time of the year. You have in front of you, excuse me, you have in front of you a letter which I just mailed to the local U.S. Attorney, copying our State Attorney General, our Lieutenant Governor, our Governor, and some members of the media. Attached to the letter is a description of what I allege to be a conspiracy, racist RICO conspiracy. RICO means racketeer, influence, and criminal organization. I allege that the command center is the Dallas Citizens Council, which since its inception by former mayor and KKK member R.L. Thornton has very much controlled Dallas. I've listed all of the various ways that this control has manifested itself. For the last 13 years, I have spoken extensively on most of them. Bottom line, if we follow the money, how our taxpayer money is being spent, we will find out how corrupt Dallas is. I will now read my letter to the local U.S. Attorney, John Parker. Subject, a call for investigation into an alleged Dallas RICO conspiracy. I have been a political activist in Dallas for over 13 years. I have run for various elected office, including City Council, Mayor, and School Board Trustee. I have spoken before the City Council and the Commissioners Court and the Dallas School Board more than anyone else in Dallas, except for possibly Warren Hawkins. I have been arrested at City Hall and thrown out of City Hall because they don't want to hear the truth. This is also true of the Commissioners Court, where they banned me from speaking 3 times, once for a year and twice for 6 months. Again, because they don't want to hear the truth. At both forums, I and others have been forbidden to mention the names of any allegedly corrupt elected officials, which is a violation of our First Amendment right of free speech. I have attached a speech that I will give to both the Commissioners Court and the City Council. The speech contains a summary of most of the information which I have on the alleged criminal activities that have been going on in Dallas for many years. I call these activities violations of the RICO Act. I don't see the time. Hopefully I'll make it through. I'm calling on you to conduct an investigation into my allegations. I am available at any time to come into your office for an interview. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for your continued service to your constituents of the Northern District. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, and our next public speaker is Mr. William Hopkins. Mr. William Hopkins.
She came in, Dolores.
Okay, well, Dolores, I'll get you after William, okay?
What time?
Well, it doesn't work, William, so I'm gonna keep it on the phone. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you a warning.
Okay.
This works right here.
Oh, wait a second, this one, something does work.
That's okay. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Let me. Don't even worry about it, man. Don't even worry about it.
right,
Y'all can't. You did a law enforcement survey, and you checked on all of the counties around here to do the law enforcement survey, but you can't even fix the clock. I don't even believe. On the strength of that. I don't believe it was a law enforcement survey. I think y'all were scared of John. I think that was just something made up. Y'all so scared of John, y'all won't even ask to see the survey. I don't even think it's a survey. Y'all can't even fix a clock. So I don't even think y'all did no survey. Judge Jenkins, I don't know who to ask to check on the survey, but I believe y'all, this was the plan. Let John do it by himself. Y'all be so scared that don't want to ask about the survey. So I don't even think it was no survey. I'm just going to get that out the way before I start. But why I'm here is for Gabriel Bates. He's an 11-year-old that supposedly raped a 3-year-old in West Dallas, Judge Jenkins. Gabriel was in special ed in Amelia Hart. The police took him out of special ed, him and a 7 and 8-year-old. The 7 and 8-year-old couldn't even talk at all. So the Dallas police said that they told him what happened. The 7 and 8-year-old told him what happened and the reason how he found out about the case. The 7 and 8-year-old couldn't even talk at all. They was sleeping in cars, was smoldering, and eating out of a trash can. The CPS knew the CPS wouldn't come to court and tell them that 7 and 8-year-old couldn't talk. The CPS didn't come to court, tell him that Gabriel was in special ed, that they kept him overnight. The police kept him overnight, asked him, do you want to go to Burger King? No, to McDonald's if you hungry. And he said, yeah. And if you tell us you raped this kid, we're going to take you to I asked Gabriel, did they take you to McDonald's? Gabriel said, yeah, they took me to McDonald's and bought me a burger. They railroaded them children. They railroaded them and hit them away. I told the judge, here go to Ross. I gave John Wiley Price and Cantrell the doctor's report from Children's Medical Center where the kid wasn't raped. John had it and Cantrell had it. I showed it to the judge. The judge said, well, he's been on television, he's been on the media, and I can't help you, William, and just because he's been on the media. And he had the doctor's report in his hand. Y'all just sit here getting $100,000, and y'all in the unincorporated areas, all in John District, Sand Branch, don't even have water. Y'all want to know about the Judge, can I get some more time like the white guy? Can I ask for some more time like you and Mr. Garcia gave the white guy more time? I don't even know what time I got. I'm going to ask before it run out. I'm going to ask you and Mr. Garcia like y'all did the white guy. Can I get a minute? Can I get a minute?
20 seconds.
I was just saying, can I get a minute? I'm going to wait till the 20 seconds over with, and I'm going to ask you like the white guy, and you and Mr. Garcia, I want to see if y'all give me a minute. I'm going to wait till the 20 seconds, I'm going to wait till it's over with, and then I'm going to ask you to consider me just like you did the white guy, you and Ms. Garcia.
Go ahead, Mr. Hopkins.
If there's no objection from the members of the court, you may have a minute.
Thank you, Judge Jenkins.
There is an objection.
Thank you, Judge Jenkins. Okay.
There's an objection, and under our rules...
What'd you say?
Commissioner Price objects, and under our rules, your time is up, Mr. Hopkins. Because it has to be unanimous if people are going to go beyond that.
What happened when the white guy spoke, Judge Jenkins? Didn't nobody say that when the white man...
Please go sit down. Help Mr. Hopkins to his seat. All right.
Come on, Judge Jenkins.
And our last speaker is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have two more speakers. Mr. Robert Ciccarelli. And that's you as well. Sorry, you see.
Good morning, everybody. Robert Ciccarelli. I was at the meeting yesterday with Housing Committee. It was supposed to bring up about the homeless. Unfortunately, very shockingly, after the meeting, it wasn't spoken at all. I figure there's a collusion between the people who like the homeless and the people against the homeless. Yesterday, the chairman had his chance to talk about the Dallas Morning News article on Friday, but he didn't. Two media reports said they were supposed to bring it up, but he didn't. I'm very worried it's going to be dead on arrival with the homeless. What I saw yesterday after the meeting, people were shocked. I mean, shocked that it wasn't ever brought up at all, except for maybe 1 minute. I just want to bring it up because it just seems like it's going to be a big waste of time. Friday's paper, Dallas Morning News gives the Homeless Commission a big fat F. 6 months of wasted time. I give it F-. And the problem is right now is that, like I said before, there aren't any homeless people on the commission, and we did not bring up the Dawson State Jail at all as a place for people to have stable shelter between the shelter and permanent supportive housing. By law, HUD, you have to be homeless for at least a year to get permanent supportive housing. And right now, the shelter is the only place they can do it. And as you see in the article, Mr. Dunn to my right and a guy named Roy brought up the problems with the shelters. They treat you like crap, okay? And I told you before, do not put any money into the bridge, okay? Because that has not shelter. You need shelter right now. Not a task force, not meetings. And I just want to say something right now. You need to open Dawson State Jail right away. There is a way of doing it for you to put the money in and for the taxpayers to approve of it. They will be into a program for at least 1 month at the shelter. If the caseworkers approve of mentally, emotionally stable, they'd be moving into the Dawson State Jail. However, they'd be into one of the programs I'm just about to talk about. The GED, drug treatment, which would be very popular, disability, applying for it, continue education, Texas workforce, college classes, employment, or vocational. They would be put into one of those programs when they go to Dawson State Jail. I would really think the citizens would approve of it. I really think the county would approve of it. And the city, as long as the people know they're going for a purpose, not just to hang out at. And I'm also want to let you know that do not put any more money into the bridge or the shelters right now. Because right now, I've lived on the streets. It's terrible. The Homeless Commission has to be abolished. I don't know why it was ever there, but it failed. I've been to 8 meetings, and they don't talk about what it's like to be on the streets. I'm serious about that. I've been saying it and saying it. And how much time we got left, Jeff?
You're out of time. Go ahead and finish your
Okay,
sentence.
I got 10. All I say is, please, put one of these programs into place, and also the soda tax for the cities. Okay, put that up, please. It's very, very popular across the country, and it's a way to raise money. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to take Mr. James Dunn, and then last I'll take Dolores Phillips, since you missed your time.
Handy man.
Yeah.
Okay, Judge Jenkins and Commissioners, Parkland and me. This last August, I was taken by emergency vehicle to Parkland Hospital. I was admitted and spent 4 days in inpatient. While being discharged, I was told all of my clothing had been lost. After an ordeal, I was given clothing, then shoes. I was given flip-flops with the implement between the toes. When I told the discharge nurse that medically I could not wear the shoes, she said, "Either you wear these or go barefoot." When I explained that Parkland had given me a prescription in 1998 that caused permanent nerve damage, called peripheral neuropathy, a painful incurable disease, she repeated, "Either you wear these or go barefoot." I explained the condition again, which was listed on the discharge papers that she had just given me. She told another lady, "Call the cops." There was nothing in my demeanor, and there was nothing I said that should have elicited such a response. A Parkland police sergeant arrived. We went back into my room. I explained the condition. Cameras showed me in my room for 15 minutes. He ordered a suburban to walk me out. I complied. 30 hours later, I was back in emergency. The nerves in my feet were burning with excruciating pain. I stayed in the hospital for 6 weeks with a team of doctors treating the nerves in my feet. The stress caused me to get shingles. All the skin fell from my left buttocks. I left the hospital in September 2015 in a wheelchair. I've been in a wheelchair ever since. No longer able to work in Pearland. I live in a women's shelter. The contract I signed to buy a condo, gone. 58% of things in my apartment, gone. I could not treat a chronic medical condition in the shelter because I had no place to store medicine. The chronic condition turned terminal. I am dying. I was hospitalized for 30 days this past October. I told our Parkland patient relations person that I wanted to file a claim against the hospital. 2 days later, I received a letter stating that Parkland had released my HIPAA information to the world. All because of a $4 shoe that could have come from discretionary funds, I have cost Parkland $400,000 in treatment. The black man who objected to the obeyed the policeman's orders. I'm a black man who obeyed the policeman's orders, yet I was dead as Trayvon Martin or Philando Castile. The former 7-time delegate to the Democratic State Convention who contributed $6,400 to the Dallas Police cash will spend the last Christmas in a homeless shelter, broken cold. Call the cops, indeed. I may need an attorney. Call me, 214-684-9839. Now, I'm not wasting my time as a homeless person. I'm president of Dignity Homeless Action Network, which you may have seen on TV, you may have seen in the newspaper, and I sit on the South Dallas Fair Park think tank. So I'm still an activist in the community. I'm doing what I can, and I'm going to do it till the day they throw dirt over my face. Thank you.
Bless you. Our last speaker is Dolores Phillips.
Dolores Phillips, you do have documents, you have emails. These emails are leading up to October 25th, 2013, when they took me to Green Oaks. I want to humbly share with you, Honorable Jenkins, is that I wrote to the court. I have observed Commissioner Cantrell and Commissioner Price to be naturally arrogant, and I can respect that. That's my opinion. This is what I want to share, is that Dr. Daniel, Commissioner Cantrell, Honorable Jenkins, Commissioner Price, and Dr. Garcia, regardless if you want to or not, you have become the faces of a national cover-up. And it was meant to be me. That's why it is me. And I'm going to humbly endure to give it back in peace and truth. I asked the court. I wrote to the district court and asked, was the indictment of Commissioner Price and all of those connected to him a hoax? When they indicted Governor Perry, I really thought they had fell off their rockers, and now Ken Paxton, because what they started here as far as assisting DPD in this cover-up when Chief Conkle was in office and when Chief Brown inherited all the corruption, he became the scapegoat for an ongoing national cover-up. When they took me to Green Oaks, I had already emailed court documents to EBC Copy Center in City Hall. That was October 25th. 2 days prior to that, Wednesday, October 23rd, I had emailed these documents to the open mic to the mayor. So when I say humane, reputable, credible titles are the same titles that become inhuman and unlawful when instructed to do so, this is what this is all about. From DPD to FBI to the United States Department of Justice, they all know that it is a cover-up and that all the chiefs continue to resign because they know about the cover-up. My question to you, Honorable Jenkins, is how do you have at the district court a sabotaging of documents at the district court 2 years? From 2 years to the date, they're destroying physical documents, records, not sending them to the National Archives like U.S. Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court of the United States. So if anybody come back where the case originated from, they'll say, oh, it's all on, we all downloaded electronically. But if you electronically upload only what you want to upload, then and you physically destroy the documents, no one has proof. What I'm trying to humbly share with you is each physical document that I've submitted to the district court pertaining to this ongoing cover-up, sabotaging of education in each one of the schools, DCCC, Mountain View College, and now UTA, and it's proof in those documents of how high and how low corruption can be. And you are a scapegoat. It's irrelevant what your race is. That's irrelevant to me. You, Ken Paxton, and Governor Perry are the most exploited politicians in Texas, and I pray for all of you, but I'm going to be the one that humbly give it back in peace. Yes?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're out of time. Our timer's not working, but you're...
But Honorable Jenkins, you do know it's a massive cover-up, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. And this concludes our final public speaker for today. We're going to go into closed session to consider matters posted under Chapter 551 of the Government Code. Any action as a result of the closed session will take place in a subsequent open session.
There we go.
cycles.
So anything is not working. Okay.
No action necessary as per the closed session. Court stands adjourned.